Moving on to a segment I'm excited for. I am going to put out our first MIA report, MIA standing for missing in action, because these players have either been mostly or completely gone from the scene this year. They've been playing, but they have not been winning or coming close to it. Number one, pretty easy to predict, but we have Chris Dickerson. Where has that guy been? He missed Vegas and then went 22nd and 19th at Waco and Austin, respectively, well below his standards. He just continues to tumble down the power rankings. Was that move to Discraft the wrong move? Hard to say. He had such a good start to the season last year and since has just been on a swift decline. It's a bummer. We're getting towards some more woods golf, but Waco and Texas State's, I think, both play fine for his game. He has a really nice, well-rounded game. He has some tricks up his sleeve with thumb rollers and stuff like that, and you would expect him to put out some sort of push for a podium at least, but nothing yet. Number two, Aaron Gossage has not cracked the top above 20th yet in Elite Series events. Another guy, last year we saw him at Worlds, we saw him at a couple events look so good, and you thought, is this guy up next, or is he potentially gonna move into a James Conrad, kind of Kevin Jones spot where he wins some here and there? He is not cracked above 20th yet, and it is a really big bummer to see. He did move into 10th in that Silver Series, or moved into the top 10, but it was a pretty weak field in my opinion, so nothing too much to say from that. But Aaron Gossage, come on man, step it up. The one I am most disappointed by is Isaac Robinson. I'm going to read you these numbers, and believe it or not, these are finishes. These are not like Pro Tour points. These are where he finished. 82nd at Vegas, 45th at Waco, 25th at Austin, 52nd at Texas State's, an event with a very weak field. Isaac, where have you been, man? You showed us your game last year. We saw you at Portland. We saw you at Waco. We saw you win Idlewild. What is this? Waco, that's the backhand turnover dream course. I mean, man, we're really disappointing from Isaac Robinson. This is at this point, I don't know if this is like gonna be a quick turnaround, because we see guys like Chris Dickerson with that slow start, 22nd, 19th, okay, salvageable. Isaac Robinson, two outside the top 50, a 45th and a 25th. You cannot be doing that, man. Can't be doing that. I'm wondering, will we see sort of Adam Hammes-esque season like last year, coming off of his kind of breakout year, going quiet? Maybe we'll see him again resurface later, but he might need some time to kind of step back up and get his confidence back. Chris Clemens, another guy who had some really big finishes last year. We saw him on lead card at Worlds, the big power forehand lefty. He has been rather disappointing up until we saw him on lead card at Texas State's, but in the full Elite Series, he's gone 69th, nice, 20th and 59th. Unacceptable for a player of his caliber, especially after we saw him push into like the top 10 most people considered last year in power rankings. I think I started him in the top 10 this year. He was Mr. Consistent, kind of pushing into that top 20 last year, with some flashes in the pan, but Chris Clemens, kind of a bummer year so far. On the FPO side, we have just two, Macy Veladiaz and Maria Oliva. Neither have cracked the top 10 yet, and those are two players I mentioned earlier that I wouldn't be shocked if they came out and won. Maria Oliva with a really rough, some really rough rounds this weekend in particular. She said she hasn't really gotten adjusted playing on camera. She went out, she won Goat Hill, so I had kind of high expectations, but she hasn't been able to take anything down since. So her come close. So I have high expectations for both those players. I think they are capable of winning an event, just putting it together on a particular weekend to even kind of push toward that threshold. So yeah, that's my MIA report. Who do you think is also having a disappointing year? I was tempted to put Macbeth in here, but him and Eagle are kind of like, we've seen them a little bit. They just haven't really Haven't gotten that podium yet, but I thought that would be a little bit clickbaity to put them in that list. So